Hello and welcome to the Park Life Podcast. My name is Mike. I'm a travel agent that specializes in all things Disney. And today is episode 33 of the Park Life Podcast. Today we're going to dive into all things about why you would consider utilizing a travel agent for booking your Disney needs. Now you're probably thinking it's our good look and charm, and that might be part of it, but there's probably a little bit more to it, and we'll dive into those things. We'll save the good luck and charm for another time. The first thing that we can talk about is our extensive knowledge, whether it's everything inside of the parks, the various number of resorts on property, as well as good neighbor resorts, dining, the different special events that are happening all throughout the year at Disney, and then crowds. That's a big deal. Different events happening throughout the year that will have impact on the crowd sizes that might mean a lot to you and how you manage your Disney vacation. Now, besides those items, we're here to help save time for you. You can lean on our knowledge first and foremost, spending the time booking the trip, and not only just booking it, but looking at different options. If I want to do a 5 day, if I want to do a 7 day, if I want to stay at a value resort, if I want to stay in a deluxe resort, if I want to do park hopper, if I don't want to do park hopper, if I want to add water parks, if I want to do the dining plan, all of those things take time, and we do that on your behalf. We also help manage payments. A lot of people don't know this, but you can set up payment plans for your Disney trip, and we help manage those. I've got clients that do a payment every week. I've got clients that do one monthly. I've got clients that do them quarterly. And then I've got clients that say when the payment is due, that's when we'll go ahead and make it. Very flexible, and it's all on us to manage that on your behalf. We also watch out for promotions, and I'll get more into this here in a little bit. And this to me is one of the most beneficial things when it comes to utilizing a travel agent for your Disney trips. We book your dining or can book your dining, and I'll get into that too here in a little bit. That's also a time saver and probably a stress saver. And then we help with all of the special events, whether it's the Halloween party, the Christmas party, different extras that you can book. We help manage all of those things and again help save you time and stress. I mentioned the promotions. And again, I think this is one of the biggest things. If you book a trip right now for the end of the year, there are no promotions set up currently. So you'd be booking at the standard rate. If you book on your own, and you certainly are welcome to do so, it's incumbent on you then to watch for Disney coming out with any promotions that would fall in line with your trip. And then you have to take the time to call and sit on hold and wait for Disney to ask if your trip qualifies and then have them switch it over to help save you money. If you book with the travel agent, we do all of that for you. One of my favorite things to be able to do is to call or email one of my clients and say, "Hey, great news. I just saved you $800 or whatever the number is," without them having to even worry about it. It's a huge time saver for them. It's a stress reliever for them. And it's a great opportunity for us to sprinkle a little magic on top of their vacation. Sometimes Disney has multiple promotions that are running simultaneously, and you cannot stack them typically. So we spend the time doing the math analysis, if you will, to figure out which promotion makes most sense for your trip so that you get the biggest bang for your buck. Huge time saver, huge stress reliever for you. And it's all on the travel agent to handle. We can book your travel from the Orlando International Airport, affectionately known as MCO, to and from the resorts. If you need a scooter or a wheelchair or a stroller, we can rent those on your behalf as well, managing a lot of the different facets of your trip without you having to even spend a moment thinking about it. Did you know if you needed to rent a car at Disney, there's a car rental agency that sits on Disney property? Most people don't know that. I've had several guests that say, "Hey, we're getting to the resort from the airport because you set up transportation. But then we have a back half of our trip where we're going to go to the beach for a few days. We need to get a car. How can we do that?" Well, they could certainly slug their way back to the airport and get a car from there. But as you all know, the airports are busy. So I can get you to a transportation system within Disney to get a rental car and help you save time and get you on your way for the rest of your vacation. We can help with lightning lanes. This is a whole concept that a lot of people, if you haven't been to the parks since COVID, you have no idea what a lightning lane is. The days of the fast pass are long gone. There are Lightning Lane single passes, Lightning Lane multi pass, Lightning Lane premier pass. We can help guide you through all of those things, help decide what makes best sense for your family, and help you get set up with those. A time saver that can help expand the enjoyment that your family has on your trip at Disney. I mentioned this earlier, dining. Dining reservations are a must if you are going to do any of the sit down meals, the character dining. That's the big one for a lot of families. They want to sit down and have dining and be able to see three or four or five different characters during your meal. It takes time, it takes planning, and sometimes it takes a little luck to get those booked. Dining reservations open up 60 days prior to your check in at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. Well, depending upon where you live in the country, that might be 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. And wouldn't it be nice just to sleep through the night as a baby while your travel agent is up at the early dawn hours getting your dining booked? The same thing goes for extras like Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique or the lightsabers or the droids over at Hollywood Studios. Those open up 60 days prior to check in at midnight Eastern. So imagine this if you're doing this on your own and you want to do Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and you want to get a dining reservation. Well, let's assume you're on the East Coast. So at midnight Eastern, 60 days prior to check in, you're up and online trying to book one of those things. And then a short 6 hours later, you're up again online trying to book your dining. If you work with a travel agent, we do all of that on your behalf and you get to sleep all night long soundly. And when you wake up in the morning, you have an email waiting that says, "Congratulations, you've been booked for the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique on this date and time. You have dining at X restaurant at this time, and you get to go about your day." One of the other things that a lot of people don't realize is that, I'm going to say this sweeping comment here, that there's no extra charge to you for utilizing a travel agent. Most travel agents do not charge a fee for their services in booking dining, booking Disney vacations, booking anything within the Disney family, if you will. And I say most because inevitably there are always exceptions to the rule. For the most part, you do not pay an extra penny for utilizing the services of a travel agent for booking your Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise, Disney Disneyland trips. I've mentioned time saving. Depending upon circumstances, I mentioned this with promotions coming out. If there is weather that impacts travel, Florida in particular can be impacted by hurricanes during hurricane season. When those things happen and you've booked a trip on your own, you have to call Disney to make changes to your travel plans because of the hurricane. It's not uncommon to sit on hold for 2 to 6 hours and sometimes longer. Be nice to have your travel agent doing that on your behalf so that you're not spending all of that time on hold waiting for a Disney representative to help you make whatever changes need to be made because of the weather impacting your trip. As you can imagine, all of these things are massive stress savers for you and your family. A trip in and of itself can be stressful, from taking time off of work, getting the kids coordinated if you're taking them out of school, and any homework, the packing, making sure you've got everything that you need, making sure that you've gotten your house taken care of for the several days you're going to be on vacation, making sure you've got your mail hold, all of those different things that you have to handle. Let somebody else handle the rest of it to alleviate a lot of the stress that you have to deal with when it comes to managing your Disney trip vacation. So I mentioned the no extra cost to you. Let's talk about that for a second. I like to be as open and transparent as I can when it comes to Disney. If you were sitting right next to me right now, and I was on my laptop and you were on your laptop, and we put in the exact same components for a Disney trip for you and your family, we would get the exact same price. I say this because a lot of people believe a travel agent will get you a better deal. And while we can watch for promotions on your behalf and save you money that way, apples to apples, we cannot book a trip that is less expensive for you putting in the exact same coordinates as you would in your laptop. The point here isn't that we can't get you a cheaper trip. The point is, you're paying for the services of a travel agent, whether you book with one or you book on your own. Essentially, Disney has baked in the commission for a travel agent into the price of their packages. We get paid commission through Disney for every trip that we book. And if the price I can get putting in the exact same things that you put into your computer comes out to the same price, that means the commission is baked into that cost. So you can book on your own, but understand that you're paying for the services of a travel agent, but you're not getting those services from a travel agent. So what the heck? You might as well utilize a travel agent, save yourself some time, stress, and get your money's worth. And the other thing about that, and I don't think a lot of people really think about it, is as travel agents, we're small business owners. So by leaning on a travel agent to do all of the things we've talked about that help save you time and stress and all of that, you're helping out a small business. So there's so many other things to know when it comes to booking that can make your trip just a little bit better or a lot better. And I'm going to just rattle off a bunch of things of kind of the did you know. And my point isn't to try to illustrate that I know something you don't. The point is to try to illustrate that leaning on a travel agent that has the expertise and knowledge limits the amount of time you need to study or research or search for things, and know that we're benefiting all of your travel plans just a little bit more because of the things that we know about. Did you know when Jersey Week is every year? That's right. The state of New Jersey, quote unquote, closes down for a week and they all come to Florida at the same time. I'm kind of being facetious, but there is such a thing as Jersey Week every year, and the crowds are bigger because of it. You know when all of the cheer weekends are at Disney World? Lots and lots and lots of cheerleaders come down for competitions, and that impacts the crowd sizes at the resorts, at parks, at Disney Springs, and so forth. Do you know when the various Disney Run experiences are, the Run Disney events, the 5K, 10K, the half marathon, the full marathon? There's 3 or 4 of those throughout the year. Do you know when those are? Do you know when the festivals start and stop at Epcot each year? Do you know when the special ticketed events are, whether it's the Halloween party at Magic Kingdom, whether it's the Christmas party at Magic Kingdom, whether it's the Christmas party at Hollywood Studios? Do you know when the extra magical hours are each night, the ticketed events at Magic Kingdom, at Hollywood Studios, at Epcot, when those are, which nights, and which part of the year those are? Do you know the benefits of staying at a value or a moderate or a deluxe resort? Do you know the various transportation options to and from the airport? Do you know the various transportation options available to you from resort to park? Those can vary based on which resort you stay at. And that can be a big deal because there are certain resorts that don't have bus service to some parks. They only have other transportation. And if those transportations are items that you might be have fear of, for instance, Skyliner being up in the air 20 to 40 feet, that's a big deal. Do you know when the different resorts are having refurbishments going on? And while your room might still be there, you might hear construction happening out in the courtyard. Or do you know when the refurbishments are at the swimming pools at the resorts? Do you know when to book dining? I mentioned earlier, but again, all of those different facets around the booking of different things, whether it's dining or Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique or the lightsabers, all of those things. Do you know what the heck rope drop is and the different options and strategies around rope dropping? Do you know about resort events, different things that are happening? Whether it's Gingerbread House at Grand Floridian, that's always a popular one. There are different events at different resorts. All of these things put together help just enhance your vacation by utilizing the services of a travel agent that know all of these things. Now, I mentioned the commission that Disney pays us. And again, I'm being very open and transparent and as honest as I can be with you. Most travel agents don't do this for the money. We have to book a ton of trips to make this be a job where you're getting a salary. Again, being open and honest. We do this because we love Disney. We do this because we've helped family and friends in the past do this. And for me in particular, I do it because I love that I know the knowledge and experience that I have is helping to make somebody's vacation just that much more spectacular. And so there's nothing better than having a client reach out to me while they're at Disney or when they get back home from Disney, telling me how an amazing time they had. It's very satisfying and fulfilling. I bet if you asked most Disney travel agents, they would tell you that's one of the big reasons why they do it. So it's easy to tell you all of the different reasons why you should use a travel agent. And I think you would probably agree that everything we've talked about in the last 10, 15 minutes makes perfect sense as to why you would want to utilize one. Now, the big question, why would you want to utilize me? And I can joke about that a little bit, but the honest to goodness truth is that I want you to make sure you're comfortable with the person you're working with. Of course, I would love every one of you to reach out to me and book your next Disney trip. I would be lying if I said otherwise. But I'd also be lying if I said, if you have a family member that's an agent or a close friend that's an agent, you shouldn't use them, you should use me. I'd be lying about that too. I want you to be comfortable, confident, and assured that the person you're working with has your best interest in mind, is doing all they can to make your vacation as spectacular as it can be, so that you feel like the money you are spending for a Disney trip is money well spent. I hope that person is me. So let's talk about me for just a few minutes. I'm married. I've been married almost 33 years. I have three grown children, three grown adults. My youngest is 19. He's a freshman in college. My middle and oldest son are both married. My middle son has an 18-month-old little boy. My oldest is expecting their first baby any day now. I've been to Disney dozens of times and in dozens of different ways. I've been there as a child with my parents. I've been there as an adult without children. I've been there as an adult with my kids. I've been there as an adult with my kids and my parents. I've been there with other adults for a function. I've been there with multi generations. I've been there staying on property, staying off property. I've been there for the different festivals. I guess my point being is I've been to Disney so many different times and in so many different ways and in so many different environments that I have a lot of experience that you can lean on. I've been on a Disney cruise. I've been to Disneyland. I've not been to Alani, but that's on my bucket list. And I think why I say that about Disneyland and Disney Cruise in particular is that, and this is just me, I want you to feel comfortable that the person you're working with is somebody that's been to that destination, that they have the exposure and experience. Anybody can sit on a laptop and book a trip. Anybody can sit on a laptop as a travel agent and book a trip for you to somewhere that they've never been. I want to feel confident and comfortable in booking you somewhere that I myself have been to. So I hope that helps a little bit. Now, I've had clients that knew me before they reached out to me and booked with me and have booked multiple trips with me. I have clients that did not know me that met me through some social media channel, whether it's here on YouTube or if it was on our Spotify channel, if it was on Facebook or YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. They met me through those means and have booked with me. I've had clients that reached out blindly that I don't even know how they found me, but they did. And some of those instances, they just said, "Hey, I found you here, I found you there," or they didn't even tell me where they found me, and they wanted to book a trip, and I worked with them. I have one client in particular that I will always remember that they reached out to me and said, "Hey, want to book a Disney trip? Got your name." Again, they didn't tell me where, and that's okay. I would like to set up a call with you and just talk for a little bit. I want to get to know you to feel comfortable in lending my vacation to you to manage, handle, and run with. And to this day, I think that might be my favorite client solely because, yes, they were taking a chance on booking a trip with me, but they were doing the right thing up front and saying, "Hey, I want to talk to you first. I want to get to know you a little bit better. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what you do for me. I want to hear how you handle the vacations." Any and every question that they had, we discussed. We probably talked for 2 hours, and I've booked multiple trips for that client since. So, point being is get to know the person you're going to work with a little bit so that you have a comfort with them. I enjoyed that with that client, and I enjoy all of the clients I have. I'm always open and looking for new clients. but there's nothing better than a client who books a second time or a third time because you know you've done something right and they're willing to come back and work with you again. So I mentioned finding me. So you can find me in various places. On YouTube, you can find me at Mike_Disney Travel, or I'm obviously here on the Park Life Podcast channel. On TikTok, you can find me at Mike_Disney Travel. On Instagram, you can find me at Mike_Disney Travel. On Facebook, you can find me at Mike's Magical World Vacations. And I would love to hear from you on any of those channels. I do a Park Life Live every Wednesday night on the Park Life Podcast channel on YouTube. If you've not subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. Subscribing is absolutely free. You can set up notifications so that you're reminded when we're going to go live for our travel talks. Those Wednesday night travel talks are a lot of fun. I encourage clients or customers or just viewers to send in questions or topics that they like to discuss, and we discuss those. We have very open dialogue back and forth, and people add questions and comments in the chat, and it's a lot of fun. It's just as educational for me, I think, as it is for the people that join. So I'd love for you to join those if you could. You can also find me on Discord at Park Life Podcast, and love for you to join that group as well. We share information about the Park Life Lives. We share information about the recorded podcasts. I share information about promotions that Disney announces. Anything and everything Disney related, we share out there as well. So I think that's a wrap for today. Again, I think there's a lot of upside to utilizing a travel agent that specializes in Disney for your Disney trips. I would encourage you to look into utilizing one. If you don't know any, I would love to be that person to work with, but I would want you to get to know me first. And the benefits far outweigh doing the trip all on your own. And I will make this comment too. Different clients that I have different mindsets. Some are type A personalities and they like to have controls of everything. And they've booked with me, and we start out as slow as possible. And I tell them, these are the things at a minimum that I have to manage as your travel agent. Everything else you can do on your own. And it's a give and take of what are they comfortable with handing over, what not. Some of those type A personalities will continue to manage everything that they can within the realms of what Disney allows. I've had other type A personality clients that by the middle of planning all of the trip, they've handed pretty much everything over to me, partly because I've earned their trust, partly because they realize that they can worry about other things in their type A personality worlds and not have to worry about this. So my point is I'm flexible in the Disney planning, the Disney booking, all of the management, what you're comfortable with uh, letting me do and what you're comfortable with managing on your own. So, anyway, let's wrap this up for today. Thank you for joining me. You can find these podcasts on Spotify if you're traveling to and from work or at an appointment or um, wherever you may be where you can't get to a laptop or your phone to watch this. Otherwise, you can certainly watch on our YouTube channel on the Park Life Podcast. That's a wrap for this week. I hope you have a great week, and we will talk to you again next week. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the day.